Mic check, testing 1 2 3. Testing 1 2 3. Can you? What'd you say?
Keep going.
Keep going. 1 2 3. Testing, testing. 1 2 3. All right, coach.
You're on the wrong side now.
Oh, you're on this side. You just told me.
I did. What do you mean?
All right, you ready?
Yeah.
All right, can I have you first start by saying and spelling your first and last name?
Okay. Kyle Lindsay, KYLELINDSAY.
All right, Coach. So 3-8 last season. I mean, we can look back and take some positive, take some negatives. First off, what did you like about last season?
I liked what I saw from our underclass groups. We had a strong group of freshmen. We had some good leadership from our sophomores and junior classes that are now our team leaders this year. Our senior class is small, but they're a bunch of hard workers. There's some talent in there. They're going to provide some overall some a little bit of playing experience, but more importantly, the leadership aspect. It's a coachable group of kids. When you do have a season like that, you try to look at the positives and look for a way to build momentum off of that. And what we saw overall from the program, from our freshmen through junior classes, now sophomore through seniors, we got some exciting things to look forward to.
Out of those guys, I mean, who are some names that people should be looking out for?
Starting on the defensive side, Ramon Anderson is a 2-year starter. This will be his 3rd year as a starter at safety in the back end. When you return a talent with experience like that at the back end of your defense, that's a good place to start. And then on the front end, you got Ben Ratanis, who just eats guards and tackles alive from tackle to tackle, centers included, playing defensive tackle. He's got a couple years of varsity experience. So when you look at the front end and the back end, while we're not going to have a lot of upperclassmen, seniors on the field on either side of the ball, you get excited when you have that experience. Johnny Sewell has a lot of varsity experience. You'll see him on defense, see a lot of them out at receiver. Who else is on my mind right now? I'm just looking at some kids, making sure we're staying off the freshly paid asphalt here as well.
What about maybe offensively?
Offensively, at the quarterback position, you start at the quarterback position. Having experience, that's one thing where, with all the negatives from last year, wasn't surprising in the sense that we had no experience returning at the quarterback position. We had a very fresh group of linemen. While they were hard workers, they were just outmatched. Sometimes, you don't have the Jimmies and the Joes. I look up front, and we've got a couple kids with starting experience up front. Foster Johnson being one of them, a senior, being a leader on that offensive line. George Boudet, as a junior, started last year at center as a sophomore. And then in the backfield, again, Carson Clark's coming back with a lot more experience, but I think most importantly, confidence. He's got a very good all-around game as a quarterback. He understands really the intangibles of the position, and those you can't teach. Quite frankly, what we're excited about is we feel like we're going to be too deep at the quarterback position this year. We also have Nelson Kannapi, who's a junior, who's he's scratching and clawing. He's come a long way since his freshman year at the quarterback position. And on top of that, he's a football player. He can play anywhere on the field. So while Carson brings the experience and has the early nod at the quarterback position, Nelson's going to push him. Nelson's also going to make himself a candidate to play on the defensive side of the ball, at linebacker or defensive end, and also on the offensive side, he can play a little bit of tight end, a little bit of slot, and then experience. And he's got some moxie at the quarterback position that we always tease about. And then Ramon Anderson at running back. Talked about him on defense, but we're excited to see what he's going to do offensively. We got some glimpses of it last year in small doses, but we're excited for him to take on the load this year, and we're confident we're going to have a strong backfield, quarterback and running back, and not just on who's going to be out there starting, but the overall depth.
Going back to that quarterback position real quick, I mean, where did you see Carson grow the most from the beginning of last season, starting to get more reps towards the end of last season, and then picking up 2 of your 3 wins towards the end of the season?
His confidence in throwing on time. getting the ball out of his hands, getting rid of the ball, not waiting for his receiver to break open, but anticipating the break. We saw that we got his first varsity start was against Bishop Dwenger, and we all know how that turned out. It was an embarrassing loss. One highlight from that night, probably the only highlight from that night, was the fact that he got the ball out on time and he took some licks and got up and kept delivering the ball. And we had a bunch of drops that night. That was one of our cases last year. We had a bunch of drops throughout the year. So while we had all these struggles, we also had struggled just doing a simple thing, catching the ball. I think him developing that confidence, he showed a lot of toughness too. And I think that's important for kids to see your quarterback pop up after getting hit hard and be ready for the next play and taking control of the huddle. So, excuse me. Hey, stay off. You guys got to go around. Nope. You got to go all the way down around. Forgot about that. Sorry.
You're all good.
I don't even know what I was saying.
I think we got enough on that one. But that was a good answer. But overall, then, just what is it going to take this season to maybe not be in the same boat as you were last season?
The old cliche of football games are won up front. The teams who block better and tackle better win ball games. That holds true, and I think last year kind of proved that. I truly believe this is going to be a better fundamental team up front on the offensive line, blocking at the skill positions, taking care of the ball. That's one thing we didn't do a bad job of last year, but I expect us to get better at this year. And then on the defense side of the ball, just the simple mantra of keeping the ball in front of us and tackling, getting guys in their pursuit angles, being able to work off blocks, but the simple parts of the game, we're confident that the kids understand that's where we got to get better. The coaching staff's put together a good plan to make sure that we're hammering home the fundamentals of Bishop Luers football, and we're confident that the kids are picking up on it, and we're going to be much improved in those areas. I would expect this team to, this is a loaded conference. We are going to have a lot of sophomores and juniors on the field. Usually when that's the case, it turns into a pretty exciting season and a pretty exciting few years. So we're hoping that this is the beginning of a new era of Bishop Luers football and a return to our championship glory.
Good deal. Anything else you want to add, Coach?
I don't think so.
All right, thank you so much.
All right,
really
you bet.
appreciate
You
it.
bet.
Maybe Carson, Ramon, saying and spelling your first and last name for me, please.
Ben Rectanus, BenRectanus.
All right, Ben. So first and foremost, you were on this team last season that didn't finish maybe how you guys wanted to at 3-8 overall. From the defensive side, what can be taken from last season for an improvement?
I felt like we had a lot of kinks we had to really work out last season. We had a really young kind of starting. So I feel like this year we're going to work out all the kinks and we're going to be a really good defense.
What makes you feel like you can that you guys can work out? What were the kinks that you wanted to work out this season?
Most people were normally playing out of position at some points. Some people didn't really know where to go, or they were just fresh to the field that year. So it was a new experience for them overall. So with them returning, it should be a better experience, and I feel like we're going to really get out there and abuse people.
So, how critical is that experience? We were just talking off camera that this is going into basically year 4 of varsity experience for you. How key is it to have that many years of varsity football under your belt heading into your senior year?
I feel like the first year, really, if you're young, could be pretty mind-boggling, and it can kind of put you offset. But once you get used to it after your second year, I feel like it just really isn't that hard, and just like you can ignore the crowd and just get your job done.
What makes this Bishop Luers defense scary?
Well, I feel like our size up front is going to be a pretty big factor. How aggressive we're going to be off the ball, and how many blitzes we're planning to do.
What can you say about one of your backfield partners and Ramon?
I feel like Ramon's going to be real aggressive. I know he's really fast, so he's going to be flying to the ball and getting a ton of tackles this year.
What would it mean to you to be able to play your senior season?
Oh, it'd be the best thing ever. If we could go with this year without football, I don't know how I'm going to feel. It's going to be really upsetting for the most part.
Good deal. Anything else you want to add, Ben?
No.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Could you send either Ramon or Carson?
All right, whenever you're ready.
All right, I'll have you first just start by saying and spelling your first and last name for me.
Ramon, Ramon, Anderson, Anderson.
Ramon, you come into this season with a lot of experience. What did you take from last season in your progression to get better for this year?
I took that it wasn't enough and there's always room to improve, so I just worked on improving more.
Overall, 3-8 last season. What needs to change from this Bishop Luers team to be a competitor this year?
We just need to start coming together and make sure we're all putting 100% after every play.
Who are some guys that we should be looking out for this season?
You should look out for, of course, me, my guy Carson, CJ at running back, and Nick Thompson.
Okay. Now, Ramon, we've been told that you can be a threat on the offensive and defensive side of the ball. How does play on both sides, affect? How do you think that you can come in and affect a game?
I can definitely change the game on both sides of the ball.
You want to here? I'll ask you this. With being able to play offensive and defensively, you have the opportunity to be a big factor in a game. What do you think you can bring to how the game's playing out?
I can get it going on offense, start to get the ball rolling, and on defense, I can do the opposite.
Coming from your guy Carson last season, where did you see him grow from the beginning of the season to the end of the season?
I'm seeing a lot of growth, some more awareness, and him putting the ball on better.
Now, what about Ben, a defensive tackle? How have you seen him grow?
He's always great. I think he's getting a little bit bigger in the gym, in the weight room.
Where does this defense, from where you guys ended last season, was it acceptable under your terms, or where did you feel like this defense was lying at the end of last season?
At the bottom, I didn't like it at all. So I'm looking to improve that a whole lot more this season.
Junior year is a very big year, and you guys have a very young team. What do you think about all these juniors and sophomores going in an SAC conference that's loaded full of senior classes?
Yeah, we're a little younger, but I think some of the young kids are going to come up and make something happen.
How good is that for longevity? I mean, if you guys do produce something this season, you won't only have this season, but maybe next season after that.
Yeah, I think there's going to be a lot of talent coming in after the next season and this season, so I think they'll be pretty good.
What are your expectations for this season?
Better than last season.
Good deal. Anything else you want to add?
No, that's it.
All right, good deal. Thank you so much.
All right, thank you.
Could you send Carson?
My name is Carson Clark, CarsonClark.
All right, Carson. So from the beginning of last season to the end of last season, where did you see yourself grow the most through the last season?
Definitely in my IQ for sure. At the beginning of the season, is my sophomore year. I didn't really look at the defense as I should have, identifying the coverages, looking at the Mike linebackers, corners, safeties, etc. I kind of just go to the line of scrimmage and I didn't know what I was doing as much as I should have been. But through the season, when I started halfway through the season, my first start was against Dwyer, I got to get used to the speed of the game for sure, and I got to go to the line of scrimmage, and I'm getting used to it, and unfortunately lost second round of sectionals, but it was just an experience year last year for me and our team especially. Wasn't the greatest season, 3-8, but it was just a huge experience year, and it helped us out a lot, and me for sure, because I got to learn what losing feels like and what playing at the varsity level feels like.
Well, and towards the end of the season, you started to feel what winning felt like, too. I mean, 2 of your last 3 games, I believe. 2 of your 3 wins were at the end of the last season. What started to click for you guys, or for you?
It was mainly just our skill players helped me out a lot, and we had a decent line last year, too, so they helped me out a lot. And, going from the SAC to a sectional level, it definitely got easier. When we played the bigger teams last year, we kind of got blown out and we lost. But when we played the smaller schools, we got to win. But this year, we're going to be able to compete, I think. We have a really good class, and we're for sure going to be ready. We just got to do all of our jobs and also there's the ball.
What do you like about this offense this year?
Definitely our skill players. You know, in the summer during quarantine, a bunch of my guys from my team, even the linemen, we would go out to a field and we would just be training and getting that chemistry down. So, and that's going to help out a lot. Even when we stepped in the building July 6th, you could tell like the chemistry was clicking, and everyone has a different mindset, and we want to go to state and be successful this year.
You know, obviously you can score as many points as you want, but if the defense isn't backing you up, it really doesn't do much good. What do you like from this defensive squad this year?
This defensive squad, it seems like we have a good defensive front. We have some good linebackers, and safety-wise, I'm not for sure who's going to be the starting safety, but it looks like we're going to have a really good safety. So, I mean, I think we're going to have a solid defense. And last year we had a lot of young guys in there, so we're going to have a little more mature defense, a little more experienced defense. So I feel like to be able to back us up.
Your buddy Ramon, he plays on the offensive and defensive side. I mean, a skill player like that, what can you say about Ramon?
Man, that guy's got wheels, you know. That's why I call him Razor Ramon. But, I mean, he's just a athlete on all cylinders of the ball. You know, at running back, he can go run for a touchdown. I throw him a screen pass. You know, that puts a lot of pressure off me. And on defense, he will get a pick or whatever, and he's just a really good player all around, really good leader.
What's this fight for the position going to look like between you and Nelson?
It's going to be a good one. You know, there's always competition at the quarterback position. And, you know, just competition-wise, I always feel like I need the fight for it. And that's what motivates me. And keep working hard and, you know, just don't take the pedal off the gas.
All right. I mean, do you think, you know, what is it going to take for you to get the nod for week 1 at starting QB?
We're just going to have to be ready, you know, mentally and physically. We got to be in shape. And for me, in the offense, we just got to know what we're doing because we got to take advantage of every possession because Carroll, man, they have a good offense with Jeff Becker and Cam Hedgecock's there now. He's a really good guy that was here, and some other receivers I know that are really good. So they're gonna be a tough fight. It's gonna be a shootout for sure. Everyone's got to do their job, and we'll be good.
Good deal. What is it going to take for you specifically to win that QB job?
Just keep working and don't feel like I already have the starting job. You know, some people say, I had an interview and they're like, you already had, like, how's it feel to have the starting job handed to you? I'm like, you know, nothing's handed to me. I got to keep working for it. And, you know, whoever does better does better. And I just got to keep working hard and show the teammates that I'm a better leader this year. I improved and I worked so hard in the offseason.
Good deal, Carson. Anything else you want to add, man?
No, go Knights.